Hey, good evening, guys. Welcome to another episode of Randy's Rants. All right, it is August 27th. It's 8:22. You know, it's been a pretty good week. Can't complain. Can't complain at all. You know what I mean? But just to let you guys know, it's fucking Thursday. Every week seems like it goes by faster and faster and fucking faster, man. This shit's fucking crazy. You know, it feels like at least for me, it feels like as I got older, I started working more and more and more and more. But that's that's because I got that vision. The thing I was telling you guys about, like, when you got something on your mind, you got a goal or a certain vision, you see yourself at, things happen, and then next, it just life gradually starts to change, and you know what, man, that's what I feel right now. That is exactly how I feel right, man. I feel like my microphone's a little off today. Let me see if I can fix this son of a bitch. Alright. Alright, that's better. Alright. That's way fucking better. I had to curve it a little bit. But yeah, guys, it's fucking Thursday. Hope you guys this week has been good. This is the first episode I actually have done. I've been a little I'm not gonna say I've been busy. It's just I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Really don't know. I think it's like there's so many things I want to do that I kind of overextend myself to the point that I don't do nothing I want to do. If that makes any sense at all. But yeah, guys. Oh, this is a one drink I was telling you guys about. I think it was not last episode, the episode before, by Jocko. This is an amazing fucking energy drink. I'm telling you guys. It's amazing. It has a lot of good shit going for it. It doesn't have as much shit as Reign and Monster, but I'm gonna tell you this: the taste is not like a Reign. It's not a Monster. It's not like a sugar-free Red Bull, sugar-free this, or this other crap. It's not like that. This I put my money on this. I would drink this 2 weeks straight, and I'll probably still feel fucking amazing. Where if I drink a Monster or whatever other energy drink 2 weeks straight, I wouldn't feel the same. This one I feel if I can just show you a little bit right here, you guys can see a little bit. If you guys can maybe zoom, like the ingredients, you can tell the list is not big, and this is not sweetened with that sucralose, aspartame, or any of those other fucking sugars that cause fucking cancer and that are scientifically proven. Look it up. This is actually sweetened with monk fruit. It's actually pretty awesome. It doesn't have a lot of caffeine. I'm surprised by it. It only has the 95 milligrams of caffeine per serving, but it has a lot of vitamin 12. It has a whole bunch of shit going for it, and it's one I do recommend by Jocko. Though the taste is not there, but if you can get yourself to get used to that taste, this is a go-to energy drink for me. I know you guys are wondering, it's fucking night. It's about to be 10 and long, and you're still drinking. And I'm one of those, I can drink energy drinks, but I can still fucking stay up. All right. Oh, I want to let you guys know, I've been reading this book. I've been kind of lagging it these past few weeks. I won't lie on reading it, but I've been reading it little by little by little. And there's one thing actually in this book that was fucking amazing. He said where he did it in he used plants where he bought some plants and the plants didn't grow. They died days after. But he's all like, sometimes it's not you who has to change. You just got to change your environment. You got to make sure you change that. It's not you that's failing to grow, but your environment is not letting you grow. Same as with the shark. If you put a baby shark in a tank, it's gonna stay small. I think that's how it goes. Yeah, sharks grow to their environment. So if you keep them in a small, like in a fish tank, they never grow to its potential size. Or if you leave it in the ocean, it'll grow to its potential. And that's in all of us. We sometimes keep ourselves in a little fish tank. We let fear, we let what others tell us keep us in that fish tank without realizing the fucking greatness, the amazing things we can do in our life, what we can achieve. We can achieve a lot, man. But it's on you guys whether you guys want to achieve it or not. If you guys hearing that humming sound, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I think it's this little one right here. See? This is to number 3. This actually it's an air purifier. This I turn on when I'm about to turn on a cigarette. So I mean, not a cigarette. Y'all know I don't smoke cigarettes. Fuck that shit. I mean, when I'm about to smoke a cigar, and usually after smoking, I'll put a timer on it. I'll leave it on for about 2 hours or 4 more hours after I'm done smoking. I close the door so it can get all that smell off. And I've been using it for the past 2 weeks to really try it. And I'm thinking about possibly getting a bigger one. I did this one as a test, and I'm really liking it because I think I've smoked multiple cigars in here, and you really cannot smell anything. And cigar smoke is fucking pretty strong. I'm telling you that. It is strong. But if you guys can definitely pick this book up, it's a book I really recommend called The Greatest You by Trent Sheldon. It is at Target. I believe it's like $15. So I highly recommend it. I've been following him on Instagram too. So I like following a lot of different people. I like getting different people's perspective. You know, I don't believe you should always hold one person up high. You should only look up to one person. I feel like you got to grow with everyone. You got to take a little bit of everything, a little bit of Buddha. You got to take a little bit of him, a little bit of David Goggins, a little bit of Tony Robbins, a little bit of everything of everyone, and make your own. You know, because I feel like everybody, what they tell you is how to be the best you can be. Same for Tony. He tells you things where it's going to benefit you, but only you know how to apply it into your life, if that makes any sense. Well, it does make sense, but, you know, some people try to make excuses that, oh, they did it, but I can't because it's this. And like, no, you got to find a way to apply it. Simple. Life is about to be honest, it's about adapting. You know, I always go back into like boxing fights and MMA fights. You gotta learn how to adapt. Something happens, you gotta adapt to it. You fucked up your left hand, you gotta adapt. Maybe go southpaw and just use your right hand as the jab and power hand. It's just adjustments. And I feel that's the same way when it comes to like the advice you get from some of these people. To you feel like it doesn't apply to you, but in reality it can apply to you. You just gotta switch it. You gotta really adjust, make those adjustments to use that advice. But you can't. I don't feel like you should live 100% off the words of one person. I feel you gotta keep your open mind and listen to all. You know, like one thing that I really learned is that, you know, you may dislike somebody, you may not like them at all as a person, or maybe there's some feud between you, or maybe something. But guess what? That does not mean you can't learn something from them. You can learn something from everybody. The person you hate, the person you dislike, the person you fought. You can learn from everyone. It's up to you whether you want to keep that open mind and not hold grudges, not, you know, maybe hold a little bit of anger, maybe some resentment. That's natural. But learn how to keep your open mind to be above all that, to really reflect on certain situations. You know? I mean, look at anybody in the past that maybe have done something wrong, but you can learn from it. Maybe learn how not to do something, but also learn how little tweaks here and there, they could have gone legit. I don't fucking know. You know? Fucking even drug dealers and narcos and all that, you can fucking you can learn from them. Why? You learn their life. You learn how to do certain things. I mean, if you can apply a narcos mentality into a CEO mentality or some shit of like just making sure whatever you got, you do everything possible, you can make a business succeed. You know, sometimes it means going in between from a white line to a gray line, but you know what? You got to play the system. All these millionaires fucking play the system. But speaking of narcos, I saw an Amazon series called The Last Narc. Fuck. It is fucking amazing, guys. It is a bad-ass series. I believe it's a 4-part series. Each episode is like, I don't know, an hour and 10 minutes long, possibly. Maybe just an hour. But, man, it is fucking good. It's actually it's really it's rough. It's based on the Enrique Kiki Camarena story. You guys know the agent. I think it was during 1985, and all those sorts. Right. Oh, this is a good one. Just to let you guys know, I am actually smoking an Undercrown Maduro. Oh, this one's gonna be good. But going back to the story, it is an amazing story, man. They really dive deep into the whole Kiki Camarena and all that. And guess what? Oh man, there's 3 cops that were involved, especially in his kidnapping, that come forward with so much information. 2 of them were actually present when Kiki was actually when he was actually when he was actually kidnapped, and they go through exactly how it happened and everything. But what's trippy is that the ones who ordered his kidnapping, the ones who ordered all that, was actually, I won't say they ordered it, but they were a part of it, because I really don't know who ordered all that, but it was the CIA. You heard it right. The CIA basically really acknowledged and knew that a DEA agent was going to be kidnapped and was most likely going to die. Why? It goes deep. This is one thing I never knew. The whole Enrique Camarena story, that is tied into the Contras. The whole the whole Contras thing, all that. And it's this time where Oliver North and all of them, they basically get this, they start bringing tons of coke to finance the war, to start training Contras, sending weapons to the Contras to fight the Soviets. Or Russia. I think that was Russia during time, because I don't think the wall siding came down, so it was against the Soviets, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to have to double search that. My memory's kind of shot sometimes. It's hard to remember everything. But yeah, and it's crazy because during that whole time, as that happened, they're doing that, but also they're using the narcos in Mexico to transport some of this, to transport the weapons down to Nicaragua, to train some of the Contras, and I think it was Rancho Veracruz. It was one of Caro Quintero's ranches he had, if I'm not mistaken. I'm still trying to remember everything from that documentary. I only saw it once, but man, I'm gonna have to see it again to get even more information. But it was good because it dives into that, and I guess the whole reason kind of they picked that they got him was because not only did he take Rancho Buffalo, which was Caro Quintero's one of his biggest marijuana plantations, but also was because they thought he had found out what the CIA was doing, all the Mexican government that was involved in it, and they thought he was already reporting back to basically the U.S. and all that. Because you got to remember, during this time, if I'm not mistaken, Congress failed to pass. They didn't pass where they didn't agree. They didn't pass the law where it was going to send money to the Contras and weapons to finance them to fight against the Soviets. It didn't pass. So no, it just had to be a rogue mission, basically. The CIA went rogue, be like, hey, we can't, and to be honest, I'm going to be honest, I kind of get the whole thing, because I'm going to be honest. If you think about it, if the U.S. government would have passed that, if they would have passed that law, they would have gave money, started training some of the Contras, started financing it to the point where it comes from taxpayer money and all that, But again, if especially now people want to call Democrats commies and all that, I'm like, okay, so let's go back to 1985. So they probably would have been for it, right? But it didn't pass. So the CIA at this moment's like, all right, they got to finance this somehow. They got to not let the Soviet Union get a foothold in South America. So as that's happening, they start to bring coke, start taking weapons and money. And I guess at this time, the CIA, they thought he had uncovered it. So they started torturing him. And the 3 cops, there was 3 cops there, that the ones that on the documentary that came forward, they mentioned a guy who was a Cuban guy. They was like, hey, there was some Cubano allí. Yo le preguntaba al otro, and they were just going back and forth, and they didn't know who he was until they started investigating. He ended up being CIA. But they ended up getting a picture lineup, and all 3 guys named that guy, the CIA agent, in the room as they're interrogating him. The guy's name's Max Gomez. Google it, search it, if you don't believe me. And also watch the documentary. So it's just crazy because that all that's tied up. So, but if you were go back to think about, like, I get the whole thing that they couldn't get the money, so they decided to do that to finance it, so the Russians don't get a foothold in South America. Like, I get that whole thing. So I'm like, you can't. I wouldn't say you can't put the death solely on the CIA and all these other people. I would say you got to put on everybody who didn't vote yes on that. Because if you think about it, if that would have never happened, would have the Soviets right in South America, they would have, who knows what would happen right now. So in reality, they were doing something what they believe was right. Whether it was right or wrong, it's depending who you ask. But so it's crazy because as you dive deeper into this, you see how tight it was. Because the same officer was saying that Max Gomez guys would leave Caro Quintero's house with bags and bags of money. Multiple times he'd see him. They'd bring arms. They'd land in his ranch. It is just crazy who was all involved. Not only that, one of the police officers even says that Caro Quintero even asked one of the guys, like, you were fucking paid. Why did you fucking take down my plantation? And I guess the DEA was also given money to look the other way, but I guess, I don't know who knows the actual backstory to that, but I'm only gonna stop it there, guys. It is an amazing fucking documentary. You guys gotta fucking watch it. All right. And also, I've been already trying that bulletproof coffees I mentioned last time for about the past 4 days. I'm gonna be honest. I like that fucking coffee, man. I can totally fuck with that coffee. I drink it like around 7, 8. I don't eat till about noon, and I still feel energized, feel all that. So you know what? Bulletproof coffee, man. I definitely highly recommend it for all my coffee lovers, and especially those who are trying to cut back on their sugar, trying to cut back on that. Try bulletproof coffee. But I'm going to tell you this. If you're thinking of using MCT oil, do it while you're at home. Try to get used to it while you're at home. Because about 2 years ago, I fucking started taking MCT oil. But guess what? I didn't know the side effects. If your stomach wasn't used to it, I didn't know the side effects was, horrible, horrible stomach pains you've never experienced. You feel like you might die. You're like, what the fuck is going on in my stomach? Do I got a tumor or what? But not only that, you get a bad case of the fucking shits. And let's just say, for 2 weeks straight, I was getting the shits in the morning. I was at work, and let's just say it was like fucking next Friday. Craig's dad, help me please. That was fucking me, man. I was holding my ass and everything. Shit. And it wasn't until a few months later as I was reading more stuff, the freaking side effects of MC2, and I was like, fuck, it was that thing the whole time. It fuck, that time sucked, but my body's already used to it, and I like it, so I definitely highly recommend it for all my coffee lovers. Oh man, that smells pretty damn good. Let's see how this goes. This is good. That's a good taste. And no, I don't got a problem. I'm not addicted to this. You fucking animals. I know you're all probably saying, it's like, man, you gotta smoke quite a bit. Yeah, because sometimes there's some days I don't smoke. Some days it's just I don't smoke. Like, this is literally the past few times that I've smoked, especially with filming up. That was the first times I've smoked in like months. Because of work and shit, I haven't been able to. And when I want to, it's like already too late. It's like 10 o'clock or 9:30. I'm like, fuck. Me, I like having time. I like enjoying my cigar. I like taking like 40 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes. Why? Because it's good. It's a good relaxation. If you've never tried it, I'd say try it. But if you do try it, best one to be your first cigar should be Isla del Sol. Oh, that's an amazing cigar. It has like the wrapper is infused with chocolate. So as you're holding it, and you're licking it, you're getting some of the flavors. Chocolate. Oh, it's one of my favorite ones. That's one I want to get a box of. But until I get a bigger humidor, I want to get those electric ones, man. Those ones that hold like 400 or 500. Those are the ones I want. But I'll be fucking dope. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? But yeah, guys. Oh, fuck. I gotta move move this a little bit forward. Yeah, I gotta put this over here. The fucking air is hitting it. It's like making it go not where I want it. Alright, but yeah, guys. But I hope you guys' week has been pretty good. You know, I think there was fights over the weekend. I think, yeah, it was fucking, what was his name? Bellator had fights. It was Ryan Bader versus Nemkov. Good fight. Nemkov, if you guys don't know, if some of y'all don't know, Fedor, that's one of his pupils. He's he's going to be a beast. You know, and there was boxing too. I'm trying to remember who fought, though. Oh, what's his name? Oh, Sean Porter fought Feloma. I forgot that. It's some fucking European guy. Some European guy. I really can't remember his name. I'm trying to remember his name for the love of me, but I can't. And then we got some other fights coming up. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Leo Santa Cruz fights Tank Davis in October. That's gonna be a solid fight. Definitely look out for that one. I got my money on Leo. I feel like Leo, he can keep a pace better. You know, technique is better, and he has fucking discipline. Tank, he has I feel like the Angel and Broner thing where once they got money, like they were no longer motivated to be like the best or stuff like that. You know, even though they got one of like the best fucking coaches or trainers or mentors on their side, which is Floyd, a genius when it comes to money, and someone who has discipline like I've never seen before. That guy has some discipline, especially for boxing, man. But see, that's the thing. You always got to master your craft. I feel if you always stick to what you know and you try to master it as much as you can, it's going to be hard for someone to beat you at that, you know? I think that's what makes Jordan fucking so great. That's what made some of these other certain athletes so great, because they just never stopped perfecting their craft. They didn't stop not only taking care of their body, but also they kept working on their craft. You know, I mean, you can't stop working just because you already know it. No, you got to keep going until you get better. You can always get better. Always improve. You can always improve. That is a fact that you can improve. That is a fact. All right, guys. But definitely, man. I need to pour me another shot of that. Oh, just to let you guys know, yeah. Drinking Dos Hombres today. I already guys told you it's a good solid buy. This is worth the $50. Yeah, this is actually from Brian Cranston and Aaron Paul, and I think it's Aaron Paul's birthday today. So happy birthday to that motherfucker. Fucking Jesse Pinkman has. But yeah, this is actually pretty cool, guys. I highly suggest this bottle. Highly recommend it. Nice little one. Just, you know, put some hair on my chest, even though I got the hairiest chest in my family. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no one wants to know that. There's another book that I just remember that I had here. It has to do with Jocko, which is fucking pretty dope, and it's something that's really got in my mind lately. That's really been sticking in my mind. Not only that, but it's giving me like not a new like way of thinking, but the way he said it, freaking genius. Not genius, but makes sense. Like, man, that's like the realest thing everybody says, and it's called Discipline Equals Freedom. Field Manual by Jocko Willink. But it's amazing, all right? But I'm definitely gonna start reading this. Even though I haven't finished that, I tend to like always jumping back and forth from one book to another. I feel like it makes it easier. Because when you start only reading one book, you can get tired of it. I learned that from a buddy of mine who kept on who one time told me, like, hey, if you ever get tired of reading one book, get yourself another book or find one that you actually that you've already read multiple times, and you know you can read to go back and forth, so you don't find yourself like not committed to that one book, you know. And it's something that I did try once, and I liked it. I just haven't been able to try to read this book, but man, I follow him on Instagram and also YouTube. He's a solid guy, man. He's someone who, I see him, I start to get fucking disciplined, man. And it's true, if you really want freedom, you gotta have discipline. You gotta be disciplined in everything you do. You know, You can have the freedom to eat whatever you want as long as you have the discipline to work out and you have the discipline to eat clean the majority of the time. So the times where you go out, the times you go to parties, you can, pig out a little bit because you got the discipline that tomorrow you're going to work out, you're going to fucking eat correctly, and you're going to get back to your role. And this is, he also has a podcast. It's called Jocko Willing Podcast, and it's cool. It's actually a really good one. There's a few podcasts I actually like to listen to. Not only Jocko's, but, everybody knows Joe Rogan, Joey Coco Diaz. That guy's funny, man. King and the Sting for another laugh. They just talk about a whole bunch of shit. Aubrey Marcus. If you guys look for someone who talks also about health and also a lot of like psychology and like it's kind of like therapeutic kind of way, definitely Aubrey Marcus, man. It is it's really good. But yeah, guys. Fucking time's been flying, dude. Can you guys believe it is August? It's about to be September in like a week. Less than a week. Like 4 or 5 days, no? So, time's always in a hurry, but nobody can ever stop time. But yet, time does not exist. It's all one big moment. That's one thing that's been crazy to me, man. Imagine that. Imagine trying to time travel. Like, you can't really go back to a time. You can't really do a certain time. The only time you're going to have to know the exact rotation of the earth at that moment. How many rotations backwards will get you to that time? If that makes any sense. Like, if you guys get what I'm saying, isn't that crazy? Like, if you were to invent a time machine, I feel you'd have to base it off the rotation of the earth. You can't just go off by, it's 10. No, you're gonna have to really get down, like, how much has the earth rotated to the point where it's this. Because you forget we got every 4 years we got a leap year. So imagine that. You have to put those rotations in account rather than just time itself. But I ain't a fucking scientist, man. Who knows? Who knows if that's real? But you know what? I'd like to believe it. I mean, we naturally have a time machine because we can go forward 2 hours. We can go forward 8 hours because that's our sleep. But other than that, damn. That shit's fucking cray-cray, don't you guys think? Fucking it is to me, man. That's the shit. It's weird. I think a lot about shit. Not shit like poo. No. But just different stuff. It's like fucking I love Star Wars, I love Lord of the Rings and all that, but a lot of people don't understand why I like it. And I'm going to put it in simple terms. This is why I like it. Fucking Houdini can't shut the fuck up sometimes. But why I like those is, think about this. Somebody created a world in their mind, wrote a book, and made money off of it. They're making movies off of it. People are making money. That's what's crazy about Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and all these other like science fiction stuff. It's just something was created and people can make money. And to be honest, that's why everything is. 100 years ago, nobody would believe what a laptop was or a cell phone or any of the shit we have around here. Nobody would know what the fuck it is. Why? Because it's just fucking all this was all made up in someone's mind. They thought about it, and it just as time went on, that thing they thought that they created got better, and better. Crazy, no? Fucking crazy. It is crazy for me, at least, man. But everything has some sort of science fiction till it's actually done. So imagine all the shit that's science fiction now. Is it not going to be science fiction in 100 years? Like, Star Wars is science fiction. But in 100 years, would it be proven not to be science fiction? It's just crazy. And it's just crazy, guys. But, guys, just crazy, man. I don't know what else to tell y'all. thank y'all for listening. Another episode of Randy's Rants. Please follow, like, and subscribe on my channel on YouTube, Randy's Rants. Also on my Instagram, Randy's Rants 20. Yeah, Randy's Rants 2020. I got a Randy's Rants Snapchat. Add that. I always fucking sometimes post stuff. But thank you guys for listening. It's been a fucking great fucking episode. I'm thinking of probably doing another one tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But have a good night. Thank y'all for listening. Love you guys. And always remember, keep fucking working forward no matter what it is. Anybody bothering you, just tell them to go fuck themselves and keep going forward, all right? But greatness is one day at a time. I love you guys. Stay safe. Goodbye. Good night.